Hi guys, this is Mark from markjammovement.com. I'm in the studio here, and we've been working on the kettlebell swing in the last couple of kettlebell classes. I just want to touch up on something that I see as a common technical fault, and not necessarily in the class that we're doing, but whenever I'm teaching kettlebell swing somewhere else, and also in gyms where I go, I always see this happening. A swing is not a squat. So I'll show you the difference between the two, and it's very important because it really changes the pathway of the kettlebell, and therefore the muscle groups being used and the overall effectiveness of the move. So take a look. I'll show both of them. I'll show you the squat version first, and then I'll show you the proper version, and I'll also exaggerate sort of the hinging back, where I kind of move along with the kettlebell and kind of go butt back to wind up for the actual thrusting of the kettlebell forward. Take a look, and I'm sure it will. Let's say that I'll take a light kettlebell to get started, and I'll show you a faulty kettlebell swing, which would be a sort of a squat then, and it would look something like this. Now, two things. One, in this particular technique, the kettlebell goes in an up and downwards movement path, so it doesn't travel in a circular path, which means you can't really use your hips to propel the kettlebell forward. Second, because you don't have that sort of ballistic movement, there is no float moment at the top. So as a result, you see a lot of people like carrying up the kettlebell, which turns it into a squat and a front raise, not necessarily into a swing. Let me show you the proper way. Now notice that I'm moving along with the kettlebell as my butt goes back, and if I'm using enough force, I don't really have to do anything with my shoulders in the top position. So we call this a float, which means I propel the kettlebell forward at the top of the position. If I'm giving enough force with my hips, then the rest of the arm is just a result of what I'm doing. So that makes it possible to kind of let go and the kettlebell still is in place. We call that a kettlebell float. There's a test we call the finger wiggle test, which means you propel the kettlebell forward. In the top of the position, you wiggle the fingers, kettlebell should move, grab it again, go back down. Don't do this. I've seen some terrible things happening. I'm just showing you to illustrate the point, excuse me. But take a look at your own movement next time you do a kettlebell swing, and if you're squatting, make that adjustment and turn it into an actual swing.